You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey there, Bold and Beautiful fans. It is Soap Dirt on YouTube, and Brooke and Ridge are reunited, and it feels so good, like the song says. But there is one thing that could absolutely wreck this reunion, and we want to talk about what that one thing is, and no, it's probably not what you're thinking. Before we dig into this, if you haven't already, please reach down, click that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our Bold and the Beautiful spoilers, news, and other videos. All right, so Brooke is absolutely thrilled right now that she and Ridge are back together. He's calling her his Logan, and they're talking about forever. Already, this sounds like, you know, they're about to get remarried and everything, but there's this one thing that could rip them apart significantly. And it's not one person, because there might be one person popping into your head that you're thinking, no. It seems pretty clear that no matter how upset Taylor is about Brooke and Ridge getting back together, I don't think she is going to be able to steal Ridge away, because he is a pretty smitten kitten right now. Maybe later, if circumstances change and he and Brooke don't work out because of this one thing we're about to talk about, then maybe she'd stand a chance. But right now, as we're watching the dynamics between the three, I think Brooke definitely has Ridge in her pocket, but something is lurking that could implode this reunion. You know what it is? It's Thomas and Hope as a couple. Think about the effect of Thomas and Hope being a couple. It is not going to be too long until word spreads about what Thomas and Hope were getting up to in Italy with their canoodling. Liam is going to rage at Hope this week. She's going to beg him. But by the week of July 3rd, he makes a decision in the heat of the moment, according to the official spoilers. And there's another spoiler for that week that says a relationship is irretrievably broken. So it sounds like Hope and Liam are done as of next week. All right. They, instead of doing divorces, they usually do annulments on this show. I don't even know why. It just doesn't make any sense. But it seems that Hope is about to be single. So if Liam does call things off with Hope, or if Hope is smart enough to realize that she should walk out because he's a hypocrite for kissing Steffi, and, or walks out after she finds out about the Steffi kiss after he shames her about kissing Thomas. Either way, it seems like their marriage is doomed. And with her marriage with Liam doomed, we have to wonder if Hope is going to decide to explore things with Thomas. She clearly enjoys him. They share a kid together. She likes spending time with him. She actually has a lot more in common with him than she does with Liam, if we're being honest. So if her marriage is over, then maybe Hope doesn't see a reason not to indulge her interest in Thomas and give it a try, while telling him, hey, be chill about this because it may not be a thing, but we can try dating. So can you imagine now, circling back around to Brooke and Ridge now, okay? Newly reunited Brooke and Ridge. Can you imagine Brooke Logan's reaction to finding out that Hope and Thomas are starting a relationship, and not a relationship that he has gaslit her into or bribed her into by giving her a kid to adopt? None of that. A relationship where Hope wants it just as much, and they are legitimately interested in each other with the potential to fall in love. Imagine how Brooke will react. You know that Brooke has this always festering hatred for Thomas. Whether you feel it's justified or whether you feel it's not, there's two schools of thoughts with fans, but the bottom line is she definitely has this festering pit of hatred for Thomas, and that was what broke up Brooke's friendship with Taylor, was when Brooke unleashed about Thomas, even though Thomas hadn't been doing anything and had been minding his P's and Q's, and then Taylor's like, you've been lying to me about him, and that, I think, more than anything else, more than the Ridge stuff, was what broke their pact apart, is that Brooke just doesn't think that Thomas can change or deserves forgiveness, despite the fact that Brooke has done some very bad things and changed, and she's had plenty of forgiveness in her life. I'll just say that. They've both done bad things. They have. Everybody on soap opera does bad things. So I do think that Brooke's hatred for Thomas may bubble over and ruin her fresh start with Ridge, because I cannot imagine that Ridge is going to be too appreciative if Brooke starts taking swipes and saying that, oh, Hope is too good for Thomas. Thomas shouldn't be doing this. I'm going to tell Hope to break up with him, when Thomas is not in the wrong this time. And that just her trash talking Thomas. And if Brooke is actively scheming to ruin any relationship that Thomas and Hope are exploring, that would probably upset Ridge. And, if there's any way that Brooke can find any way that Brooke would ever tolerate Thomas being around Hope, there's no way, right? It's hard to imagine that she would ever give them her blessing, So if Liam calls quits on the marriage, then Thomas and Hope seem inevitable as a couple, as does Brooke's fury over them being a couple. There's no way she would accept this. And so we have to wonder if Ridge can turn a blind eye indefinitely and live with Brooke's hatred of his oldest son. Could he do that? All right, we've got 3 things to consider in this potential breaking up already of the Brooke Ridge reunion. We're going to lay those out for you in 1 second. But if you haven't already, please click that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our Young and the Restless spoilers and news. All right. So the number 1 thing is that Taylor is waiting in the wings. And if she hears Brooke talking to other people hating on Thomas, Taylor may just keep reporting this kind of stuff back to Ridge to make sure that he hears every bad thing Brooke says so that she can try to drive a wedge between them, and it would probably work. Meanwhile, Thomas, he has been being very nice to Brooke. If they're working and Brooke comes in, he's like, please stay. He said, oh, Brooke, you should come to Italy. You should be there. He's trying to be completely transparent and upfront about everything. He is playing really nicely with Brooke because of Hope. And if Thomas continues being super nice, it's actually going to make Brooke's hatred for him more obvious and going to make it stand out even more to Ridge. And we do have to wonder if Brooke and Ridge are going to make it down the aisle, or will Thomas and Hope being together rip them apart before they can really get this reunion started again. What do you think? Do you think Thomas and Hope as a couple is the thing that could blow up what looks like Brooke and Ridge finally getting their happy ending?
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.